Okay, today I want to go over the A minor pentatonic scale. And before I do it, we're going to go over it real slow. We're going to give you time to get it under your fingers. And then we're going to learn a little blues riff or two to play with it so you can have fun. Before we do it though, it's a good question to ask. Why the heck do you want me to learn this? And I want to show you what it's for. So, when you hear people jamming, if they're all that kind of stuff, all that. That is your A minor pentatonic scale, okay? When you hear someone playing in rhythm and blues or like, and they go for a lead, that's your minor pentatonic, okay? And everywhere I just played it is where we're gonna learn it, okay? So that's your A minor pentatonic scale. Now we're gonna learn it real slow. What I want you to do is put your first finger on the 5th fret of the low E string, okay? First finger, 5th fret of the low E. And before we start playing the scale, I'm just going to help you with finger positioning. Put your 2nd finger 1 fret higher on the 6th fret of the low E, 3rd finger another fret higher on the 7th fret of the low E, pinky 8th fret of the low E. It'll kind of get like this so you can really see it, okay? So your fingers are 1, 2, 3, 4, okay, 5, 6, 7, 8 for 2nd, 3rd pinky. Now that's to get you positioning. Now, if I say first finger, you automatically know, oh, 5th fret, okay, 5th fret. If I say 2nd finger, 6th fret, 3rd finger, 7th fret, pinky, 8th fret, okay? I'm going to grab a pick, and I'm going to hold it sort of like this between my first finger and thumb. It's relaxed. Okay. And first finger, of course, on the 5th fret of the low E. And then I'm going to do it down. I'm going to alternate down, up on everything. Okay? So with a down to the first finger, a pinky is an up. Let's move the hand here so you can see. So first finger at the 5th, pinky at the 8th, of course. Now on the next string, go to the A string, make sure you're on the next string. First finger on the 5th fret again, 3rd finger on the 7th. Okay, and actually better to leave your finger down as you go. Do the same thing on the next string. So first finger at the 5th of the D string, and then 3rd finger on the 7th. Same thing on the next string. So first finger on the 5th fret of the G, 3rd finger on the 7th. Okay, and of course every time your first finger gets a down and your 3rd finger gets an up. Okay, I'm exaggerating to show you. First finger now on the next string with a down and pinky with an up. And same thing on the next string, the last one, the high E. First finger with a down, pinky with an up. Okay, now we want to go real smooth, so don't even hit that high note again. We're going to come back down, go back to your first finger on the high E with a down. Okay, pinky on the B string with an up. First finger with a down. 3rd finger, G string, 7th fret is an up. And first finger, 5th fret is a down. We're going to the next string, the D string, same thing. 3rd finger on the 7th fret. And first finger down. Good. 3rd finger, 7th fret of the A string, same thing, with an up. First finger, 5th fret with a down. And finally, the low E string, the fat string, pinky with an up. And first finger with a down. And watch that as many times as you need to. Remember, always down on the first finger, always up on either the 3rd or the pinky. Okay? And remember, the low string and the 2 high strings are 1st and pinky, so 5th and 8th fret. But the A, D, and G strings are 1st and 3rd fingers, so 5th and 7th. So one more time, down at the 5th fret of the low E, up to the pinky, 8th fret of the low E, first finger down on the A string, 3rd finger on the A string up at the 7th. Same thing on the next 2 strings, 5th on the D with a down, 7th with an up. Same thing on the G string, first finger down, 3rd finger up at the 7th, and then the last two are first and pinky. So down on the 1st, at the 5th fret, pinky is up at the 8th, first finger down at the 5th, and pinky up at the 8th. And we'll go right back to the first finger with a down on the high string, then pinky on the B string with an up. First finger down at the 5th. Now onto the G string, up with the 3rd finger, 7th fret, down first finger on the 5th fret. Same thing the next two strings, up at the 7th, and down at the 1st, that was the D string. Now the A string, up at the 3rd, down at the 5th, pinky, 8th fret with the pinky, and finally, on the low E string here, down on the 1st. And that's the 5th fret, okay? And then just practice that. And then, next we're gonna have a little fun with it, okay?